Lullaby singing brings a lot of joy. It creates a bond between the child and the caregiver singing to them. But lullabies are actually a powerful tool for learning and development in the sweetest possible way. We are now joined by Professor Usha Goswami, Director, Center for Neurosciences in Education at the University of Cambridge for more. Thank you for joining us, Professor Usha. When we sing a lullaby to a child, what is it doing to them?
Well, of course, we are normally singing a lullaby to try and soothe and comfort a child. Maybe the child won't settle. It's always good to sing to children who are unsettled. But my research shows that we are also helping the brain to learn language when we sing lullabies. And that's because analyses of lullabies in all the world's languages suggest that they use the fundamental beat structure or the rhythm structure that the brain needs to start acquiring a language.
Dr. Goswami, you talked about the research you've done. Your published study, in fact, suggests that children learn language not only from phonetic information or the sound of someone talking to them, but from rhythmic information or the sound of someone singing to them. Tell us about that.
Well, you're right. It's about singing, but actually, if you're speaking in baby talk, then talking is equally effective in terms of language learning for the brain. And the reason seems to be that the brain works rhythmically, so we have brain waves, and speech or singing have different rhythmic structures nested naturally in the speech signal. So when you're singing in particular, that fundamental beat that the brain needs to pick up on to start learning language, that's the rhythmic structure that's coming across most clearly. So speaking baby talk and singing start the brain off on the language learning pathway.
So baby talk and singing starts the brain off on the learning pathway. What about the silly, playful rhymes or lyrics that grandparents often invent? How does this playfulness and melody impact a child's imagination?
The playfulness is really important because if you're thinking from the point of view of the young child, they're still busy learning. And so you might have a predictable rhythmic pattern in a lullaby or a song. But then if you suddenly change some of the words, so an English example would be instead of twinkle, twinkle, little star, you might sing twinkle, twinkle, little bicycle. Then the child's internal following by the brain of that beat structure has to accommodate the change. So even though it's fun and silly, actually for the brain, it's quite important because you're, as it were, extending learning by introducing these funny changes. And actually, learning language, babies often do this for themselves. If you listen to them when they first wake up in the morning, they're often babbling away, making up nonsense rhymes, for example. It's a fundamental part of language learning.